Hello there, this is Fimbly Jim. Today I have been playing around with one of my favorite killers in the game, and many people's least favorite, Pinhead, but specifically Chatterer. I've been devising a build that I love. I am a big fan of horror, and I've always thought that the Cenobites were one of the coolest aspects of horror because they literally were just torture demons. And what better game to torture people in than Dead by Daylight? This entire build is meant for people to not like you. But it's also meant to be super effective and to play to your strengths. It's also not inherently... It plays with good perks, but I wouldn't say like the meta perks right now for like gen regression and whatnot. But what it's playing on is time wasting, which is my favorite. But it's not dumb time wasting like Deadlock or Dead Man Switch. It's time wasting that survivors have to go and do. One of my biggest complaints about this game is there's not enough objectives, where the killer has to juggle a bunch of different, objectives and stuff like that, and prioritize chasing players and whatever, everything. And survivors just kind of have to do generators. My opinion on the game has sort of changed in the sense of I actually do think the game is super balanced. I don't think it's been this balanced in a long time. I think both sides... it's a pretty good fight on both sides. Now I think it's like a coin toss almost most games, but kudos to the developers for that. And I've been playing for a long time, and I've seen the ups and downs since its release. But I digress. The build I believe to be the best. It's a build that you've seen a lot with probably different killers, but I personally think it's the best with Pinhead. I'll show it to you now, and I actually drew up a little bit of a spreadsheet to explain everything to you guys. But let's just start showing the perks. Both of these decrease the time for chain hunts to activate by 6 seconds and 3 seconds respectively, for a total of 9 seconds. What does this do for us? This means that the chain hunt is going to activate significantly more often. 9 seconds added throughout the game is pretty often, especially when you consider that Pinhead's box is constantly a threat and constantly something that people have to deal with. It is, in my opinion, the best slowdown in the entire game, and I think a lot of people would agree with me on that. There's no setup required. It's basically the equivalent of having like an ally, an inanimate object ally. You feel powerful, and I do feel like Pinhead is one of the best killers in the game. I think he actually, in some ways, is S tier, and with this build, he feels S tier. And I know that's saying a lot. He does still get cucked by pallets and whatnot. But you still do have so much damage potential. And, like, he's got some great add-ons. But these two I really like. I do love Impaling Wire. But when Pinhead first came out, they buffed him by giving him, if you break a chain, one of his chains will respawn if it's broken by the environment. And personally, this will spawn an additional chain for each one. So you can get up to, like, I think 6 or something like that. But personally, this is amazing. This is just an amazing, his best add-on by far. But it's not necessary, in my opinion. Like, if you're good, if you learn the chains well enough, and you can keep people where you want, because you basically get 4 chains hooking them. You get like basically, I think it's not necessary, but you could totally rock it if you want to. But I think these are the best for the idea of this build, which is macro play, not micro play. This is the whole premise is wanting to combat the team as a whole, not just 1v1s. So we're going to start with the 2 perks that I think are super mandatory on mouse 1 killers, which Pinhead is Sloppy Butcher, where you hit a survivor, they're inflicted with the hemorrhage and mangled status effects. This is super duper 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 good on Pinhead for a bunch of reasons that I will elaborate on in the drawing that I did. I drew it out to explain it better. Jolt is sort of a flex perk here. I personally love it because I don't love running around kicking generators. I hate that. So I don't even do it. I prefer to Jolt and keep moving and keep attacking, keep the pressure on. So Jolt I think is great. You can swap this out for whatever you want. Scourge hooks or Pop Goes the Weasel, whatever. But let's get to the meat and potatoes. This is something that a lot of people have seen on different killers. I think it is the best combination on Pinhead specifically, because of a number of reasons, which I'll elaborate on in the sheet like I was saying. But we're going to be doing Hex Plaything. Whenever you hook a survivor, a totem is spawned, and they are the only ones who can go and cleanse it. And it essentially makes them oblivious, so they don't know where you are. Now, good survivors will often just decide, it's not even worth it, I'm not going to go do it, because they know you likely have Pentimento. But if they choose not to, they're basically, you're a stealth killer the entire game. And you also have a power that is really good. So you can jump people and surprise them. It's just fantastic. Like, the strength of being undetectable, which is what Oblivious essentially allows you to be, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. And the biggest thing with this is it creates a secondary objective that the survivors have to seek out, and they also have to cleanse it, which is the biggest thing. Seeking out and cleansing it. So that can be a lot of time wasted looking for that totem. And for the first 90 seconds, like I said, only the cursed survivor can cleanse it, which is a lot of time. Pentimento is the crescendo here. It's sort of the screwed if you do, screwed if you don't element of if they do decide to cleanse those totems, we're going to hit them with 30% reductions across the board. And on average, usually I see between 2 to 3 totems cleansed. No, I very rarely have seen all 5. I think maybe once or twice ever. But the biggest things that we want here are the first and second hex totems anyway. So that's the build here. I will elaborate more in the spreadsheet, and I would love to show that to you. So let me pull that up right now. Okay, so this is the little spreadsheet that I made. It looks like a lot, but I put a lot of thought into this build. I put a lot of thought into it in the sense of who I think is best with the Pentimento Plaything combination. I love Pinhead, and I wanted to make sure that I had the numbers and everything down to show you exactly my thought process behind this. So, I put the core right here, as you can see, which is the main meat and potatoes of the build, and the flex perk being Jolt. It's not the prettiest looking, but it gets the job done. So here is the eye little thing that I built here for showing exactly where everything plays into itself. Obviously, Plaything plays into Pentimento, and the box effects works with Plaything, Pentimento, and to be honest with you, it also works. Oh, where did my line go? There it is. It also works with Sloppy Butcher. So let's see. Starting with Sloppy Butcher, it obviously applies a 25% slowdown to healing. And another big thing about Sloppy Butcher is that if their healing action is interrupted by any means, their healing starts to regress. Now, this works with the box, and it works with the box because if the box is active, the chains can stop people from healing, which means it can prevent them from getting their heal actions done. And it's already taking a lot longer to do anyway, and now they are being interrupted by the box. So this is assuming the box is active. If the box isn't active, they're wasting time healing, and the box is generating and building that pressure, which means they're not focused on generators at all. So I'm going to it's going to be hard for me to bounce around just to explain this a little properly, so I'm going to do my best. I'm sure everyone can follow along as to why this is a very potent build, but I would like to just explain it out a little bit. Plaything and Pentimento is the secondary objectives on both. This is technically the third objective, with these two being your secondary for the middle of the game. The start and the middle of the game. The box is the initial second objective where they have to decide, do I want to do generators or do I want to go get that box? And then going into, usually as Pinhead, you're able to, if you play enough of him, you can identify generally where the box will spawn, and you can put yourself in a position where you either find it first or you find the survivor who found it first, and you can start the game off super strong. Now, if you don't find the box first or the survivor, it's not a huge deal because somebody's occupied with something that doesn't progress the game, the box, and then somebody else you're ideally chasing them, and if you're not, you can teleport to that survivor and find them pretty quick. So the beginning of the game with Pinhead is very strong. Once you get into the first down, you have started the secondary objective, which, I mean, you could even call this the third objective, like secondary, third, and fourth objectives. But I think these two could be third objectives, to be honest. But essentially, we're just going to call everything that isn't a generator a secondary objective. Because it's optional. It doesn't necessarily progress the game. So, once you're in the phase where you've hooked one person, 2 people, whatever, let's say you've hooked one person, now they're affected with Plaything. This person is now concerned with doing generators and also finding their plaything. But while this is also going on, the box also exists. So now they also have to think, do I want to do a generator? Do I want to find my totem? Or do I want to go do the box? And that builds this sort of conundrum. And not to mention, if they're injured, they have to decide, am I going to waste time healing? Because it's going to take a long time. They have to decide, is the box active? Because if the box is active, they can't heal. If the box is going to be active and they don't know if anyone else is going for it, they're going to just have to make that decision. And if they do decide to go cleanse plaything, which does take 14 seconds, which I wrote down here, which I'll elaborate on in a sec, they have to go cleanse it, and then I can go quickly and set up a Pentimento, which is now punish them for doing the secondary objective. Another screwed if you do, screwed if you don't. And the coolest thing is if you have 2 totems up, which is very easy to do, there is 55% total heal slowdown reduction with Sloppy Butcher, which is crazy. But the best thing about Pentimento is the 30% gen slowdown. The first 2 are the absolute best. And when you're using Jolt, you can just be hitting gens, and then you're damaging them, and it's going to take them 30% longer to do that generator. So, and with everything else that they're worried about, it's really hard for them to focus on just doing generators, especially if you are experienced with Pinhead and you're able to find people and you're able to end chases quickly and keep the pressure on people. So this is sort of just all feeds into itself and ends up being this sort of conglomeration of things that they have to do besides just doing generators. And on a macro level, you're able to pressure everyone at the same time while also it feels very good. And as the game starts to get a little bit more condensed into certain areas, like maybe you're down to 2 or 3 gens left, survivors will have to often run into dead zones or areas where there's no generators to work on to find the box and solve it, that sort of thing. So there's just punishment all around, which Pinhead would love, is the whole torture aspect, which is the whole idea behind this build. And down here in the numbers, I sort of just wrote out, I was going to do the actual very specific numbers, but I think it's sort of redundant at this point. Just you see that this is a big number. So for survivor-based healing, it's reduced by 55%, making them waste time healing. That is a ton of wasted time healing. And that is going to... You can also double this, by the way. You could make this even more annoying by using the nail, the first pin or whatever, because whenever you hit an injured survivor with a chain, a hook, or your ability, they get the mending status effect. So you could hit them with mending, which takes, I don't know the exact amount of time, but it takes, it's a decent chunk of time. Then they have to heal 55% slower. Then they have to deal with their plaything. Then they also have to deal with the box. And there is just so much stuff to do that doing a generator is just not feasible at all. And this is mostly taking place in the mid game, because during the late game, if you're playing against a good survivor team, these are the only 2 picks that are really going to be seeing much action. But during the early and mid game, these 2 they stall the game so hard, and it's awesome. And I called this a game of totems. So each survivor has to at least cleanse 1 totem each, assuming that you are playing the game and doing well, and you're getting your downs, and you're prioritizing targets appropriately, which in my opinion you should. This build also discourages tunneling pretty heavily, because you want to get your build snowballing, which means you want to be finding new survivors to hook to get more plaything going around. So usually, most of the time, I don't really ever tunnel. There's obviously situations where it's necessary, but most of the time you're chasing after new survivors to spread that plaything around. But so just saying that every survivor usually cleanses 1 totem. Usually, that they at least have to cleanse 1. Which I put this over here as I said. Okay, let me just read the whole thing. It takes 14 seconds to cleanse a totem, and when they do, you are able to add another totem. And on average, I see about 2 to 3 plaything totems get cleansed. Usually, there's between 1 to 2 really solid survivors that don't really care and they know what you're doing, so they just stick with having plaything the whole time and they don't cleanse their totem. But I often see about 2 to 3 plaything totems get cleansed a game, which means I get to put 2 more totems, 2 to 3 more totems with Pentimento. So if it takes 14 seconds a totem, they are now cleansing between 4 to 6 totems because you have to double this because I can replace these totems that are missing. So this means that in total, you are forcing survivors to waste anywhere from 56 to 84 seconds total. That is insane. This is also assuming that they're dealing with nothing else but totems, which is not the case. They are also dealing with the box and Sloppy Butcher. And if you have 2 totems up, they're dealing with the slowdown. So this is assuming that all else, they are just dealing with the totems, and it just doesn't happen. And you could really make this even more insane by throwing Thrill of the Hunt on here, which makes totems take longer to cleanse. So you can really make this crazy. I personally like Jolt just because like I said, I don't like to have to go kick generators. And I'd like for them to just start regressing as, people start going down and start scrambling and being unable to deal with the amount of pressure that you're putting. That's why I like Jolt, because I don't have to worry about it. And it's also a good information perk, because it'll let you know if somebody's working on generators. It's also very satisfying. But that's the build. That's it explained. Sorry, that was a long-winded intro, because I do want to show it to you. As my favorite, absolutely favorite Cenobite chatterer. Absolutely disgusting, horrifying, badass chatterer. But I just want to show you guys this build, and we'll probably do a game or two. And I will get right into it and show you this horrifyingly good build that is it is disgusting. We are on the Raccoon City Police Station. This is actually going to be kind of rough for Pinhead just because they have a lot of stuff to break the chains on. But oh wow, everyone spawned here, which means I know exactly where there's an interesting sprint burst. I basically know exactly where the box is going to be. It's going to be back here somewhere. And that was a lot of chains that respawned, because each one, if it's broken by the environment, will respawn. There's someone. Nice. Excellent work there, friend. Okay, that's 2 people injured. That's fine. Pop that through the window. Hit her in the foot. Wow, that was really well played. That was super dumb on my part. Super dumb on my part. That was extremely well played. I should have just waited for my power and secured that, but it's okay. Okay. That was... I shouldn't have used my power there. I didn't realize she had a drop from the ceiling power. That went through her. Silly goose. And the box is already back, and she picked it up again, which is interesting. That means it spawned, like, somehow on her. I'm gonna do like this, and then... Oh, and I missed her again. This is not a great showcase of skill here. Kind of whiffing a little bit. Need to get a down going here fast. This is a down. Excellent. You could get a save here. No, she's not going to. But now we get the plaything going. Box should be spawning again here shortly. Go like this. Sometimes she'll, there we go. I went underground. Sometimes that'll happen. Power just sinks into the dirt. It's fine. I'll take a hit. I got Sloppy Butcher. I don't worry about it. I'm getting value. And that's where, I mean, like, you should definitely be keeping pressure going. There we go. Take this way. Okay. Okay. Okay, got her there. Nice, that's a few generators hit. What's up? Fine by me, friendo. Didn't really make it very far. Oh, you had... Nice. Caesar... There we go. Excellent work there, bud. So, and the cool thing about the box, too, is if somebody opens it while they're... Wow, okay. I'm playing against some greasy friends. These guys are really good. Just gonna do this and guarantee a hit, friend. Oh, wow, that was super well avoided. Nice. Okay, so going that way. There we go. That should be a down. And we get her. Okay, no one's here, thank God. They were really on it with hunting me down. Did I already hook this girl? I did not, thank goodness. Let's see if I can stop this. I don't want you, I want her. There we go. Woo! That was good. I was waiting for a sec. Come on. I know you're there. Do it. You have a balanced landing, I know. Nice. That was a good body block. You guys are solid. Good, good, good. They got 2 gens done, but I'm pretty sure that's all they've done. I don't think they have much progress on other gens, and that girl has to mend and then heal. And that girl's now on death hook. So that's just good, 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 and good. That gen has no progress. The box is active somewhere. Hello there. Where are you going? Alright. There we go. There we go, there we go. Move her over to this spot. These guys are really good. Man, that is a brutal perk. I'm cool to leave. I'm cool to leave. I've got a good amount of pressure there. There we go. I thought she would go this way. And there we go. Nice. I thought you could see through the window there, so you can actually look through to see what she's doing. And these guys are super, super solid players. We know that they're back there in that corner doing their healing thing. They haven't cleansed a single one of the totems, which is smart. Means that I don't get Pentimento. But it's still... Pentimento exists if they do decide to start cleansing. If they don't, they're playing against essentially the equivalent of Ghostface if he had chains. So, you know, it's not overly ideal for them. Someone's on that Geneseer. And this girl has balanced landing. We gotta remember that. She's gonna go probably... Yeah, okay, interesting. Not gonna use my chains yet because she's going through an area that's... There we go, I hit that. I don't know if I've hooked this girl. We'll see. I don't really recall. I don't think so. I don't think I've hooked her. Yeah, that's her first hook. So she is going to be... I'm gonna go over here because I know that this girl's working on... I also know she's deaf. That's what I figured you had. I figured you had dead hard. I waited and I used my power to bait out the dead hard there. So that was the logic for that. Did she just run up and try to do this? Well, we're gonna go after that girl anyway. I just want to keep spreading my pressure, and if I can teleport, I'm gonna teleport. Okay. There we go. She'll probably come back this way. There we go. So you can really mind game with the chains, because the chains do cause people to panic quite a lot. They, a lot of the time will free... I think this girl's actually dead on hook, isn't she? They'll panic. They'll, because they start getting their movements restricted. Sometimes they'll get jerked around in areas they don't want to go. And there she is. And you can actually prevent. I'm not the best at it sometimes, especially when people are like really good, like this girl is. Oop, that was didn't mean to pin my camera down like that, but I'll just let her throw this pallet down. You can preemptively throw down your... I can hear you. So you can preemptively throw your power down to grab them when they do their balanced landing. So then you can prevent them from getting the speed boost altogether. Extremely powerful. Obviously, I'm not doing that. But as you can see, I didn't get any pentimento value this game. However, they have no idea where I am. And against a killer that has a chase power, that's very potent. And a killer with a passive slowdown and everything, it adds up. You know, like it's not all slowdown is gen damage. It's a good chunk of it is making survivors wonder where you are and making people sort of question themselves or take time doing other stuff. Now, I don't really care much to play, but there we go. I don't really care much to play for Hatch. But... And usually you don't want to do distanced... She might actually... If there's... Now, if I see the hatch, I'll give it to her. They were good. If I don't, though, I don't want to walk around looking for it. If I hear it, you get it. Well, it's unfortunate. GG's. That's a map where you would really want that pull out on because it spawns way more hooks. But as you can see, any environment that the hook gets broke on, it'll respawn a hook. But with the other one, it'll spawn 2 for every 1 that's broken, so you get a lot of them. But his power is just really fantastic base. I practice a lot just playing with his power base, and it's really fun. So I'll just throw a GG in there, and they were really good. They were super good. They were super good. Very good team. Very good team. GG's. Alrighty, let's hope that this one I can actually showcase a little bit more of the build, but you know, either way, it's gonna be a good time. We're gonna go look for the box. I'm gonna show you how I triangulate. Usually, I do go to the edge. I go to the farthest corner from myself because you have to factor in where survivors are, and then you want to listen. And we found it. And we found it. There we go. See, you wanna go the farthest away from where you are, and then you kind of fan out in a circle just to sort of see. Generally, wow, they're already slamming on that generator. I know there's 3 of them here. I'm not even gonna waste my power on you. There you go, bucko. I'd like to get this guy down though, just because he is, in fact. There we go. Now he should go down here, and that's that done. And that's fine if they. Oh, she's gonna go try it for the save, but she can't. That's fine, they're getting that done. But usually you want to like sort of spread out and You fan out around the edge of the map and you start going around from there. That's just the best way to do it. Oh, well, you shouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have been very pressed about it. Ooh, I shouldn't have even. Honestly, I should have canceled my power, but that's fine. I'll still get him here. Just barely by the tip of my dick. Do this. I think he's gonna drop down the window. Where did he go? Oh, weird. Okay. Did he really just stop? Okay. I respect it. There we go. So he panicked. There we go. I didn't really love that. I actually just want to scare her away because I want to get this. I want to get this hook. I'd like to spread the. Okay, he didn't crawl away. Oh, but there is someone literally right here. She missed half that. That was annoying, but that's fine. Top 500 looper. I would wager that's probably not true. What? She's like lurking. I see what she is. Okay, she's actually getting the box done, which I don't want to do. Maybe I can get her here. Okay, I got her here. She's top 500 looper. Let's see if I can handle that. That was. Well, I got her without even using my power, so I must be top. Don't think you get this there, Sword. It's fine. Everyone's trying to flashlight. Hey, look, that's fine. I'm flattered, guys. I'm flattered. Okay. There we go. That's what I wanted her to do. I wanted her to panic. Just like that. They assume that you'll take the simple route. You take the complicated route. Let's move her over here just so she's out of sight. Don't know why that feels right to do, but we're going to do it. Alrighty, and now they all should have the infection of not being able to see anything or hear anything. And we can kind of hunt for the box here a little bit. Nope, he's already found it. So we're just going to hop to him. Just start another chase. No point in waiting. He really doesn't know what's going on. I think he hasn't cleansed his I wanted to do that just to scare them off. He's out in the open. That's one of the totems done. This is a good game to showcase this. Last one that was a good, I think these are two good examples of, now that you can see that one totem's done and immediately Pentamento's value has skyrocketed. And even so, like, the fact that even if they know... Go. I did that while falling too, so I actually maximized the speed. I did that. That's 2 done. 2 totems. Bring her over here, and we're gonna get both those totems. But we're gonna do it in the opposite order. We're gonna go for the top one first, and then we're gonna go for the. We're gonna. Where did? I like where this is. This totem's in a nice spot. Because I go out of... That takes me 2 seconds. To them, that's 14 they have to do. They just want to get rid of that. That's 1 totem, too. So if they want to get rid of the gen speed, I'm going to make it 28 seconds they have to waste. Which is a huge amount of gen time to waste. I would go for that, but I want this. And that's fine, knowing that she's doing basically nothing. And I think that this might be the best slowdown in the game. Just that... the box, because it respawns. And he didn't hear me. He didn't know I was here, so now he's playing against a stealth killer. And that is why Deadlock is extremely strong. I would argue that Deadlock is one of the best perks in the game. And I would like to make sure one of these guys is not... Oops. I think it's one of the best perks in the game because it is a gen slowdown inherently. Did you get in this locker? You did. Nice. It was fun. Now it's my turn to have a little bit of fun. So if you know your movement, like, Pinhead can be, like, seriously dialed to 11. Just with, like, how much you can really do. She got, like, a little speed boost from that. Oh, I could have skipped going. She didn't play that super well. Oop, I messed that up. Let's just play this like normal. Yeah, top 500 looper. Hit me with the pallet. Good try. They're playing this out. I appreciate that. He would have got the window there, and that would have extended that loop quite a bit. Thank God he didn't. It's just him again. One of the most satisfying abilities in the game, personally, for me, is just hitting somebody with these chains. There's something about it, man. I almost was tempted to let her have that. Something about it. Landing a sick chain hit and just, like... It's way more satisfying to me. Just seeing all the chains spawn. That's fine. That's fine. That was a good game. I think they might be done. Might have had enough. Might have had enough. Can't believe I beat a top 500 looper. I just want the girl. I don't want you. Thing about the box, too, if you're injured, like I said earlier, is it's a death sentence. If you are solving the box while you're injured, this is like, you should, like, big no-no when you're going against Pinhead. Don't solve it. I mean, it's kind of like a, like I said, screwed if you do, screwed if you don't situation. Where you get her my chains. Like if you go and solve it, he's gonna teleport to you and he's gonna be on top of you, and you basically don't have, you generally don't have running room. You are more often than not in a predicament. Where'd you even go? Now the box is going. I highly doubt he would solve it or even pick it up. If he picked it, I mean, thing is, like, the box makes you oblivious. Deadlock makes, or not deadlock. Was I calling it deadlock earlier? He actually does. He actually does want to solve it. Plaything. Plaything makes you blind. Oopsies, that was a mistake. So the thing with the power is, like, making a mistake with it is pretty punishing. But it's kind of in the same vein of, like, you really should just be leaving the loop at that point. There we go, curve that around there. It's just like, you really shouldn't... Oh my, I flicked way too hard. That was really dumb. But yeah, going for those long distance snipes is a little bit risque business. I do want to give him the hatch this time though. I don't want to. Look at the little cube. That's another thing about Pinhead that I really like, is giving a rewarding, like, extra objective that the killer can do that's not punishing. Like, I don't have to go find the cube, but if I do, like, it's a huge buff to me. A huge buff. And it also can be skillfully found, which I really like, because it adds an element of, like, I don't know, it's just fun. It's just really fun. Anyway, that has been my pseudo how to play Pinhead, and also the best build I've found on him so far. If you guys like Pinhead and you like the Hellraiser franchise like I do, and you want a more thematic build, this is the closest thing you can get to basically torturing survivors, as top 500 Looper said. I did not have a good time. Yeah, this isn't really supposed to be a nice build, but it's sort of just a build. I'm the killer. I'm gonna be making my games absolutely terrifying, and I think that's what makes Dead by Daylight so fun. Is you can have every changes how the game plays, and my perks I make my own game. I give new objectives. That kind of thing. So if you guys enjoyed, I would love if you gave the video a like. I really appreciate it. I would love to make more content like this for you, and I'd love to show you more of my Pinhead gameplay. But I hope you guys have a fantastic day wherever you are. Please drive and walk safe wherever you do go. And please be nice to yourself and kind to others. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.